So I did get the app on my computer so I can share the screen. Let's make sure that open system preferences. Oh, wait. Yeah, I don't, oh, darn it. I thought I had it. I thought that's all I needed was that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, so you don't you when you click on share, you're not having options for what content you want to share at the bottom.
Hold on. I think I'm coming into a new meeting here. Hold on, darn it. WebEx isn't my forte.
Miranda,
better
I
yet.
was the first to join this meeting, so I don't know if I'm the one that has the sole sharing abilities or if everybody can do it.
Yeah, no, it's not like Zoom. Actually, anyone can do it without me having to give any sort of. Although if
Huh.
I can make Jill.
I
Let
don't
me
want to
see if I
waste our
make you.
time here. Darn it.
Let me make you.
That's weird. Okay, so I don't know even where this meeting is. Now I lost it on my bar. Sorry. Hold on. Here, okay, here we are. Yeah, it wants me to open my system preferences. It doesn't have an active share button. So anyway, okay.
Do you want me to
Go
share?
ahead, Karen, and share your screen.
Okay.
Yeah, I really get to use the WebEx and to practice that. Don't you kind of have to be in the mix to be able to practice or figure it out?
Well, it's weird. It seems like some people don't end up having the share button, but other people do. So I'm not entirely sure.
Well,
I actually have a meeting with WebEx at noon. I can ask them why some have
yeah,
shared and
because
some don't.
it wanted me to download the app, so I did.
Okay.
So I'm now coming through the app. And so I thought that was the answer. And then
Yeah.
now it has the button is shaded. And then it says open your system preferences so that you can share content and to record your computer screen. Huh.
Yeah,
Oh,
let me
okay.
ask him when I meet with him this afternoon. There's a
Okay,
couple
good.
other glitches we're talking about, so I'll find out.
Great. So I put I asked Miranda for the updated vision, so that new vision is in there. And should we read that vision just to get our heads around that? Because we had the old vision in here. So our community and its visitors enjoy ecologically sound and well-maintained parks, open space, and trails with recreational and cultural services and facilities while protecting and enhancing the unique mountain ecosystem of which we are part. We're all good on that?
Oh, so I have a suggestion that I mentioned in email to Jill and May, and that is to use the overall goal from the 2013 Parks, Recreation, Open Space and Trails Master Plan. And that's listed under goals and objectives, the very first one, overall goal. And the reason I like that better than what we currently have is that it's more comprehensive. So it talks about.
Do you mean this should be in place of our vision?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I never
So,
understood that. Sorry.
no worries. So this overall goal is actually the vision from the 2013 plan. And, it encompasses what we're saying up here, I believe, plus it talks about education. And it also refers to social sustainability. So that was my suggestion.
Okay, so then when I read it, I felt like it was really only about fulfilling the needs of residents and it just felt really facility and heavy to me. And not, I just really think we should come from an angle at this point in time of highlighting that we're, sharing this planet. And we should be aware, really, I think accenting that in our vision, which I feel we really did in our actual vision statement. So the vision statement, you don't feel covers the overarching vision? To me, that's a
So-
goal. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's fine. You know, it was just a suggestion.
Yeah,
And
I didn't understand that's what you meant, that you wanted to replace the vision with
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
Okay.
So I think it does touch on our support for the environment. That the very last line, while supporting the sustainable environment. But I, you know, I think there's a good argument for not changing it because we've already agreed on that, and we've
Yeah.
presented that to the whole group. So that's fine. Is May here?
Good
May
morning.
is
I
here.
had trouble logging in for some reason. Go on these round robins sometimes with the electronics, but yes, I'm here. And yeah, I agree. We've already thrown it out to the entire committee, and I like the way the committee in general was reluctant at first because it's a little bit different from what we had before. So and then you'll see under the overall goal from the former one, I've reduced that somewhat. I think we need to contemplate the fact that the last, 9 years or so, there's been some real misunderstanding between the various committees and the public about, what is ecologically sound? Is it a paved pump track? And then when we talk about fulfilling the needs of residents, that makes me nervous. Everybody's got a need, everybody's got a lot of needs. I think that's a big, big thing to do. So I suggested underneath that 6-line thing, I went a little bit over half, but my experience is the less you say and the more pointed you say it, the better, because it serves as a more easily understandable reference. So I'm for leaving the vision as it is. I think the 2013 effort had a lot going for it, but I think there were a lot of stumbling blocks, and I think we need to try to get around those. And I like what Jill says. I'm in accord with the idea that, we're in a very unique ecosystem here. We have a certain responsibility, if you will, to keep that place carved out as this is a very special place. So my notes are to that effect.
Yeah, I liked your your interpretation there below.
So I'm wondering how that it's not very different than the vision that we have.
No, it's not.
We could just take out the overall goal. I mean, in the 2013 plan, there's objectives and actions that
Yeah.
don't fall into a particular category of parks, open space, recreation, or trails.
That's the overall goal, right? Yeah, I think we have our vision statement, and then I think we should go for the individual goals. Then we can break out the objectives of each parks, recreation, and open space and trails. They have trails on there also, correct? It's pulled out,
Right there.
open space and trails, yeah.
Should I delete the overall goal?
I think it makes sense. I mean, I'm not sure if, Karen or Miranda, what is your suggestion? We already have a vision statement. Do we need an overall goal?
No, that's really your decision to make. I don't feel like it's going to hurt either way. I don't feel like it's necessarily needed,
Mhm.
especially if it's basically repeating what's in your vision statement.
Right.
At the same time, if you all feel it provides more clarity, that's okay too.
Well, I spent a little bit of time on it this morning, and the thing
Mhm.
I like about my changes are I'm always looking for ways that our community is different. I still have in mind what Jill said, how can we bottle what makes us special? Our unique and stunning setting is, a lot
Mhm.
of people say they have it, but we really do.
Mhm.
And the other thing I find missing from almost everything is a tip of the hat to locals. And that the surveys that we're evaluating are from locals, and that they're after all the tax base. So we want to have opportunities for locals, and sometimes a ski town or playground for the rich leaves that out. So I was excited to get in opportunities for locals to live, play, interact, and flourish in a walkable. I don't think we have that, anywhere quite that concisely attractive, something we've left out in our planning, and well planned town. Again, a goal.
So the 2013 goals each have residents in them. The first one is trail system together fulfill the needs of residents. Just to point that out.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
I'm not advocating to keep those.
Which I actually like that, Karen, the residents of the greater Netherland area.
mm, mm, and locals.
And
So
I think it defines more what a local is.
mm,
But
so I did go.
I
I
don't
did.
think I don't think it's a problem to just leave a short overall goal at the top. I think it's, I like what May wrote and interpretation of that. Maybe we could just kind of, analyze what she wrote a little bit and determine if it's replacing what the 2013 had. I like the support the well-being, their well-being, because a healthy community is a healthy planet, So,
And it mentions indoor and outdoor recreation,
uh-huh.
education, although we have
It's
considered.
down below though in the parks goal also, so.
Yeah.
Jill, do you think where it says in May's suggested language, when it says and flourish, does flourish say it enough as far as well-being, or do you think it should be called out specifically?
Flourish, I think sometimes flourish can be interpreted as purely economically flourishing, but I think well-being is more of a health piece. What do you think, May?
Yeah, let's see, how would that go? While providing opportunities for, let's see, residents of the greater Netherland area, we would put there instead
Yeah.
of locals, to live, play, interact, and then, or
Yeah, uh-huh.
have to change the
Yeah,
sense
right.
of the sentence, but it could be done, I'm sure.
I
Flourish.
would say, Karen, let's take that. Well, I mean, are we ready to, before you go on that, I'm wondering if we just want to take that and replace it and let's just revise that, because I do think it's replace the one that exists.
Okay.
But anyway,
Well,
no,
I can modify,
yeah, go ahead.
okay, for
Yeah, let's do that. So
residents.
opportunities for the,
Of the greater Netherland area.
yeah. So
Although I think,
providing
again,
opportunities. So how about by while supporting the well-being of residents of the
Mhm.
greater Netherland area?
Well, I don't know. Again, I think that is getting a little over the top. How can we
Yeah.
support their well-being? We want to, we're talking about parks and trails. We're providing a setting, an opportunity for people to manifest in nature.
How about to
Um,
live, play, interact, and flourish isn't a bad term there
well,
for
how
sure.
about reconnect or give back, or
Mm-hmm.
educate or learn? How about learn? Because I do want to put
Mm-hmm.
education in here as much as possible. Our arts, culture, and education committee is pretty light. We had, unfortunately, a resignation, and one of our other members has been out of town, and
Oh, it's so
another
hard.
member is soon to be out of town. So
That's nice,
I'm
Karen.
hoping we can get it all in to some of these other committees, and just write it in to live, play, interact.
Learn and flourish. I think that's fine.
Yeah, because we talked in arts and education also, about learning, can be a couple people doing Irish, and in a place where Irish music, and where kids can come and bring their instruments, or beginners can come and learn. So I like any reference that we can make that makes sense to learning. For residents of the greater Netherlands area to live, play, interact, learn, and flourish. We can take flourish out, learn, and let's see. I don't know.
I
I'll leave it to the
Yeah.
real wordsmith, Karen.
I don't object to the term flourish. I kind of like it.
Okay.
Because one thing I was thinking is grow, but
No,
you've already
no.
got learn in there.
Let's see.
So
Well, we could
I,
say evolve. I like evolve better than grow.
Yeah, and flourish is fine. I mean,
so I do find part of that first line to be a little, I'm wondering about our active planning and maintenance baseline. What exactly do you mean by that? I don't,
Well,
I'm,
I almost use the word matrix, but I don't really know what that word means. So, um, it's it's our starting point, if you will. Like, oh, let's cut a trail from here to there. Well, is that going to impact the viewpoint over there? Is it going to increase erosion? Yes, and yes. Okay, we'll put it someplace else. So what I meant was that this would be a consideration in every effort that we're making towards planning, enhancing that appreciation of people of our setting, understanding of that setting, and appreciate and availability of places to enjoy it. I think a lot of people come up for the peace and quiet. Um, so that was
Yeah, I like that. I like that as a baseline. I think that is true. Like Netherlands' unique and stunning natural setting is our active planning and maintenance baseline. I understand what you're saying. We base everything first on that. Is it impacting the local environment? Whatever decisions we're making should be the first consideration on anything we consider at this point in time. I think that's what your point was there.
yes. And I'd love to, like when you talk about maintenance and so on. I know this is way off topic, but I'm sure everybody's seen the damage to the trees along the highways that this new road treatment is doing. That's an example of a maintenance baseline, which is based on safety. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it does have a consequence.
So and then on not understanding the which to honor and maintain properties and surroundings as environmental stewards. I think it's the which part. What is the which referring to? What is the subject of the which?
The baseline.
The baseline.
But if that's unclear,
It is a little bit unclear.
let's work on it.
So the baseline, I think maybe the public won't understand the term baseline. Like
What
Maintenance
about
decisions? How about just decisions?
Netherlands' unique and stunning setting in the natural world is our active planning and maintenance.
Decision process, or yeah, that's let's see, is
well,
the
is
starting.
it,
How about
is
is
any-
the starting point or the basis?
Yeah,
Is
the
the
basis.
basis of our active planning and maintenance decisions?
Did somebody write that down? That was good.
Is our basis
Or the basis is the
It's-
basis of our
is the basis of our active planning, which is to
active planning and maintenance decisions.
Sorry, is the
Well,
I think the
I
point
think
here,
we need to say that also safety is a basis of our, the balance of those two things of safety and protection.
so I think what we're saying here is that we're situated in this setting that is, it's a natural setting, it's unique, it's stunning. And now we have the responsibility to be good environmental stewards of that.
Right.
And maintain that natural setting in everything that we do.
Yeah, and also while per this committee, while simultaneously providing healthy opportunities for people to recreate.
Yeah.
There's a balance, right? So
I'm just worried that we're talking about planning, maintenance, baseline, that people aren't going to get it. Like what is it that? So
yeah.
I agree with the gist of this, but I think the wording has some issues.
Let's see.
okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
How about putting the word drives after natural world? So the setting in the natural world drives our planning and maintenance activities.
Decisions in balance with.
Well, drives our active planning and maintenance activities, which, let's see. Maybe we should break it up to a couple different sentences. Netherlands has a unique and, of course, you don't want to word that kind of word, but
Netherlands' unique and stunning natural setting.
Is there a
So we-
reason you can't just say for planning and maintenance? Do you have to say beyond that?
Say your
we're-
whole thought there, Karen. What do you mean?
So, for instance, if you kept what you had, Netherlands' unique and stunning setting in the natural world is our drives, or whatever word you want to use, drives or informs our planning and maintenance.
I like informs.
Me too.
Informs our planning and maintenance.
Which is to honor and maintain properties and surroundings as environmental stewards and so on.
Which is, what's the which?
Which is to honor and maintain properties. Should it be land or what do you mean properties?
It could be, I was just using the language as it was.
I know.
Yeah.
I jumped ahead.
Okay, got it.
Which, no, that's good. I like that. Which is to honor. So Netherlands' unique and stunning setting in the natural world informs our planning and maintenance. Shouldn't it say something like decisions or?
How about instead of which we say, okay, here, I'm going to make a suggestion here.
Could you say planning and stewardship?
We honor.
I think we can say the land instead of our properties and surroundings. Let's just say the land because I want to do,
maintain the land.
yeah.
Maintain the land.
Yeah, because I want to leave it open because we are talking about fire mitigation, Forest Service properties, open space, interaction. So I think, as I said before, if we can go small instead of big, we should. I don't know whether it's strong enough. Maybe what we should do is flip this around, guys. I don't know. Maybe what we should do is make the first two make it the very up to the period, and then a semicolon, because really, the which Karen is worried about, is
Which
is the problem, and
I
maybe
feel like
we
it's
could,
gone. Wait.
and then we could say planning and maintenance colon honor and maintain the land and surroundings as environmental stewards, period.
Yeah.
Or
Period. Mm-hmm.
and then what we're planning in terms more of recreation, culture, educational, through our things like the community center, but at the same time our parks, and to provide. So I don't know, maybe those are separate thoughts, but I think it's stronger if we can tie it all together, which we can do if we can get it down to 3 lines, I bet.
I think it is a semicolon after maintenance, not a colon. A semicolon, and then a we. We honor and maintain the land and surroundings as environmental stewards, period.
How about we add in good neighbors? Yeah,
Let's just start with what we have here. We honor
Okay.
and maintain the land and surroundings as environmental stewards, period. And then I think we provide opportunities.
Mhm. Done.
We provide opportunities for residents of the greater Nederland area to live, play, interact, learn, and flourish in a walkable, attractive, and well-planned town. I think it's great.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
I like it because it's short, and I think we have to try to refine it a little bit from the last one, using that as to inform us, but also what we've been through in the last decade to kind of put a little bit finer point on what our goals are. And I think it's the direction the town's moving, the wetlands and, all of that.
Yeah, agreed. So just to be clear, this would be our overall goal. And we don't need objectives under this because we'll have objectives under the others, right?
There are some objectives that don't fit into the other categories.
Okay, right.
So you can see that in the 2013.
Okay. Do they, okay.
Do you want to
And
see
I
it?
remember in our all group meeting that we should have 3 objectives per. Am I correct?
Well, normally you would have a minimum of 3,
Okay,
but not more than 5, just to keep it, manageable. And it
right.
really depends on how complicated the
Yep.
goal is that you're putting the objectives under.
Uh-huh. I need to make this bigger.
65. If it'll go to page 65. Plus 6. Oh, it's almost there. Okay. 65. Sorry, Mae, if this is making you dizzy.
No problem. I'm looking for my notebooks. I'm not even looking.
Oh, good. All right. So here's what
That's
that.
great. Thank you for doing this, Karen.
Okay. Address funding and staffing. Oh, this isn't the one that I should show you the other one. I added a status column and I put that on our drive, but we can see just address funding and staffing needs. So they're kind of overarching objectives. And
Can I
then-
pause for just a second? Hey, Karen Garrity, is Garrett still here?
He dropped off a while ago. I'm not sure if he had something else going on that he couldn't.
I feel
stick
bad
around.
I didn't say anything about Garrett, but
He was
we'll
not
just-
actually, I meant to put him on the environmental sustainability and accidentally invited him to this one.
Oh, so maybe
He
he
left
was,
because he has other things to do.
gotcha. Okay, great. I just thought, oh, I didn't include him in
Yeah.
this. Okay, never mind. Go ahead, Karen.
So I can show you that. Well, I don't need to. It's on our Google Drive. There's a status column. So when we meet with ProSat
Yes.
on Thursday this week, I hope we can go over the status. And
I did confirm ProSab would like you to come, so I sent you all the WebEx link for their meeting on Thursday.
And I don't know if I'll be making that. I'm flying out of town
so
that night.
my thought is that we wouldn't, I don't know we'll have time to go over all these actions, but
Mhm.
at least we want to tie down objectives in the sense of, is this what progress has been made? Have the actions been started against this objective? Is this still something that we want to carry in the future?
Yeah, I really like it. I think that's great.
So there's,
Yeah, and while the town has identified a funding source where we could potentially beef up the parks team a little bit, I would say that the goal has not been met, or the objective.
Yeah,
It's
that'll
still-
never get met.
still
That'll
a
always
work
be a
in
goal.
progress, right? Yeah.
so so I did, May and Jill, I mentioned that I had, oops, how do I take it? This thing keeps popping up. Here. I mentioned that I had, I was collating the results from the survey. I'd like to show that to you. Let's see if I can get, this is in our folder. And what I did was I made it through the,
Yeah, I saw this.
the
Mhm.
community one.
Great.
And I'm going to add in the advisory boards and staff. And I will have a column that identifies whether the result came from the public, an advisory group, and which one, and the staff. And then when I was looking at the survey results, I wanted to identify, I was looking at them with the Parks, Rec, Open Space, and Environmental Sustainability lens. And I wanted to identify what people thought were our assets and our values, as well as what we needed and what they would like to see in the future. So I looked at all of the questions and then categorized the assets, values, and the needs and visions, and then did a count of how many times those particular things appeared in the results. So we can see, as May mentioned, you know, what
Yeah,
the most popular thing is, natural
yeah,
environment.
that totally speaks to that overall goal.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so I finished the community ones. And then if we look at needs and visions, you know what I saw here that jumped out at me was, I feel like there's a lot of desire to around transportation
Uh-huh.
and reducing the traffic congestion,
Mm-hmm.
the parking issues, doing a lot of support for a parking garage
Mm-hmm.
as the way to get people to park in one place and then take alternative transportation around. And so I just wanted to show that to you. I thought
That's
this,
great, Karen. That's
yeah,
awesome. Well, how does that apply to the objectives that were written by ProSab before? Do you think,
the
do
objectives.
we want to create a few more objectives based on those comments? Or do some of those objectives still are, I mean, were they already created?
Well, I think what we want to do is look at the objectives that are currently in the 2013 plan
Yeah.
and see which ones make sense to keep,
Mm-hmm.
and then add more to fill in what ProSab is currently doing, what we what the needs and desires are from the community. You know, some of
Mhm.
those in that first section of assets, and I called it something else. Assets and values, you know, I think we're combining the two of these. This is what the community thinks is important that we currently have.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing what they value, what they see has been good accomplishments. And the other ones are, this is what we would like to see in the future. So I think combining those two, we get a picture of where the community wants to go. At least from this.
You know, I think we could almost like combine a lot of these into cultural, recreational, you know,
I've got-
natural, and probably get a better sense of the actual, you know, the actual numbers for each of those. But
Oh, yeah, we can do lots of things with this data.
right, it's pretty great.
So we'll see the library shows up here. The
Mm-hmm.
creek, there's a quite a
Interesting.
bit of interest in the creek. And down here, making it more accessible to people,
Yeah.
providing a park or river walk. Now, you know, I don't know how representative this is of the community. Maybe when we do more surveys,
Agreed.
we could get demographics like, do you live in town or outside of town? How long have you lived here? How old are you? I don't know if that's the kind of information that we could collect. Where do you live?
Well, Karen,
Yeah.
I think, did we mention last time, Miranda, the barcode that you and Deb worked out under public engagement? And this is a thing where we can, this is going to be something the kids are going to be more likely to use, but we can have a direct link to whatever information gathering we're trying to do. And in terms of the representationality of this data, thank you, Karen. I made
Mm-hmm.
a stab at it myself, and I know how difficult it is. But my feeling was, you know, boating on Barker and the swimming pool, kind of, I felt were overrepresented in terms of what the general population knows is feasible, because we've been around those merry-go-rounds so many times. How expensive it is. I like your idea of carpooling to the other pools, the transit things. I also want to throw out the idea that while people are talking about a parking garage, I think we should also consider talking to the Forest Service and Boulder County about places where we can park cars out of town, because we do have a limited amount of space. I know that if Ron gets his development, there's going to be parking underground there, and he can supply some parking. But we do. I mean, the highway is cluttered with cars, bumper to bumper during the hiking season, and I think parking, transportation to trailheads, and that kind of thing is something we haven't really gotten into as a committee yet. And I think it was something that was underestimated during the Envision 2013. I don't think we had the strains that we do now on parking and so forth. Like the
Well,
horse.
would an objective just be for a concerted effort to create parking solutions or something?
That's good.
Uh,
I like that.
you know, and then I don't know how that actually happens, but it's probably not our task to figure that part out. It's just an objective to say that needs to happen, right?
Very
Because
good.
it's obviously called out in many ways here. And then maybe a separate one is on the shuttle service, investigate the viability of a shuttle service.
Yeah,
for
an increased
Proximus.
a network of shuttles maybe, or because a lot of people are going up to Brainerd. I don't know if anybody likes to go to Brainerd the way I
Pretty
do,
far.
but boy, the
So we
parking
have
up
to
there,
define, I don't know, that's a pretty far
that is pretty far.
transport.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But
people
I think having a
love,
loop around situation would be fantastic for our town.
yeah,
You mean like a 470 type deal, like a drive-by where you don't have to go through
No,
town?
a little electric shuttle bus that goes from the RTD and up to Mud Lake, into the rink, into the school, and to the, up to the high school, to Eldora, to maybe even the Magnolia Road round. I don't know.
Oh God,
Just
yeah. Mhm.
so that people don't have to actually, try to get parking everywhere, and we don't have to have the RTD bus, manage all of our transport to Eldora or whatever. I don't know.
Well,
yeah,
we
and
might
there's,
even be able to get a partnership with Boulder County as
But
we're
I think it
going in.
should be called out as a separate objective.
Okay.
so, going back to the goals, we have the overall goal, I think we've decided on, and now we have these other ones: parks, recreation, open
Yep.
space, and trails. And we have
Right.
13 minutes.
13
So
minutes. What time do I have?
it's 9:17.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, let's try to accomplish the actual goals. And then I think that was very helpful to look at the past objectives. And I think we could work on 3 to 5 per these goals. I'm not sure if I'll make it next Monday, so I definitely will be working on it though before that, because I want to give input. But anyway,
So next Monday is when we finalize our draft.
of our objective inclusive.
Goals and objectives. And then Tuesday, we have a meeting with all of the Envision 2030 group
Right,
to
okay.
go over those. And then we have like another week before they go to the BOT. But I think we should
Yeah,
have a goal of getting our draft done by Monday, which I think we can do.
yeah, I think so too. I
The wording
appreciate your
for,
help with all this. It's great.
yeah, the
So
word,
go
yeah,
ahead.
but I think we need to have the three of us, and maybe some help from Karen Garrity on getting the wording here for these goals. Maybe we can go past 9:30.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I do have some things I really do need to get to today, other than this meeting. So what I was going to suggest is, if you guys get it, pretty close to what you want, and I have to pop off, I could always go into your document and then, do suggested edits if you'd like.
Great.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Great. Okay. Well, let's look at the parks goal. So, do we want to look at the revised parks goal?
Which is this one? Parks are maintained and planned
Yeah.
for. Okay, maybe we can get this.
Yeah, parks are maintained and planned as spaces for engagement with nature and each other. Whoops.
Sorry. Okay, so just accept these changes, I think, right? And then see
Go
what it
ahead.
looks like. Okay. What's this one? Oops. Okay. Just get it.
Parks are maintained and planned as spaces for respectful engagement with nature and each other and are left as much as possible in their natural state as restored to natural environment balance whenever possible to adequately accommodate residents' needs for indoor and outdoor recreation, social gathering places, and local and regional cultural events on a scale that is appropriate for the size of the character of the town. So I just kind of took a part of that into yours, May.
Hey, whoa, can you hear me?
Yeah,
This computer does weird stuff sometimes and flips me off to someplace. Oh, it's because you're on there. Okay. I originally wrote mine like that too, the local and regional cultural events on a scale. I ended up putting that into recreation. Maybe we need to
good point.
kind of, yeah, so that was why I did separate them. I agree they're related. How to do that, I guess, is why we're here, is to discuss.
I don't know why this formatting is not working, so I'm just going to type it over again because
Oh,
so it'll
that's
be
too bad.
easier to read.
Sorry you're having to do that. It's weird.
Yeah.
As spaces for respectful engagement, with nature and each other.
There it goes again.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
Karen,
weird.
Karen can fix that, I bet, later
I-
on. Garrity.
Oh, I see it. See that little yellow? See that little blue? There you go. Huh.
Oh, right
What just
here.
happened?
Think so? No.
We lost that
Well,
little blue thing.
actually,
It's heading
I'll
3.
fix it later, guys. I can.
Yeah, I can do it too. I know. I think I know how to fix that. So just not worry about it.
Okay.
So, or restored to natural environmental balance whenever possible to adequately. You just wanted to leave it as whenever possible, May?
Yeah, and then to go to recreation and social events under recreation. I felt like we sort of covered the scale issue on the respectful engagement with nature and each other. In terms of fleshing that out, but
So,
yeah.
so if you go up, see that little, there you, weird.
Yeah. I've had this problem before. It's the format, but
Let's not
okay,
get
I'm
stuck
not.
on it. We got to do this.
Okay. All right.
We
Um,
have to do this. So,
Okay. Parks are maintained and planned as spaces for respectful engagement with nature and each other, and are left as much as possible in their natural state, or restored to natural environmental balance whenever possible, to adequately accommodate residents' needs for indoor and outdoor recreation, social gathering places, and local and regional cultural events on a scale that is appropriate for the size and character of town. So I'm fine with all that, but there's just the wording in the first part is
parks are maintained and planned for respectful engagement in nature and each other and are left as much as possible in natural state or restored to natural environmental balance whenever possible to, yeah.
the last part is good, I think, to adequately accommodate.
Yeah, I agree.
The
So,
first part, it's just the way it reads that.
well, I don't think we need that. I feel like parks are maintained and planned as spaces for respectful engagement with nature and each other is enough. While simultaneously balancing residents' needs for indoor and outdoor recreation.
So what you're saying is there's redundancy in there.
Yeah, I think take out the and are left as much as possible, because I think it's already stated clearly. So I think we could say while simultaneously balancing residents' needs
So I just want to get input
Yeah,
from
take
May on
that
that.
out.
But May
Hey,
is
what do you
that-
think?
Well, the reason I put that in is because of what some of the issues that we've been facing here recently
Mhm.
are. Also, in terms of bringing them back to environmental balance, for example, the oil slick that is our old town shop,
Mhm.
the empty concrete pad there where we could throw up a couple basketball hoops, throw some gravel down. You know, we don't have to do the Superfund excavation to do the quick tweak.
So
And
could we say parks are maintained, planned, and restored as spaces for respectful engagement?
they're not always restored.
I know, but
So,
whenever we need to restore, you know, when something needs restoration, we're thinking of it in terms of natural state.
well, given the time constraints, maybe we can put that out into a bullet point or a specific objective. I guess, are we in agreement then that we're going to talk about some of the same things here that we talk about in recreation because the parks are the home of cultural gatherings and so forth?
Agreed,
think
and I think it's already a fact that that's what parks are for. So we want to make sure we understand that there should be a balance, is what I'm saying. There should be a balance between how we, you know, plan and maintain spaces along with what people do with those spaces, you know,
maybe
that we're
instead of
calling out
saying
that people use those spaces. So it's, you know,
to adequately accommodate, we could say in balance with residents' needs.
right. Right.
I
Yeah, that's
like
what I was
that.
saying.
And if y'all want to take out the stuff about leaving them as much as is, you know, for example, it's a very different experience to walk on a path that is a dirt path and to walk on a path that's been created for bicycles, for example. It's got a lot of pebble rock on it. It's hard. You're not as close to the trees and so forth. I also think I took someplace and put parentheses about multi-use trails because I really feel like bicycle trails are designed and used quite differently at times
Yeah.
than
Mm-hmm.
other trails.
Yeah.
So adequately accommodate instead of, yeah, in balance with residents' needs for indoor and outdoor recreation. Well,
I think so.
indoor on a park, do we want to say with residents' need for
Hmm.
outdoor recreation, social gathering places? Yeah, I think we should leave indoor for recreation. Well, I mean, say
Agreed.
indoor. Yeah, okay.
residents' needs for, how about we just say recreation needs
Yeah,
for,
there you go.
okay.
That's a good idea.
Respectful engagement and each other. Respectful engagement with nature. Okay, so the and each other, that refers back to parks, which is kind of strange. Like parks have respectful engagement with each other. So I
No, spaces for respectful engagement. In other words, we don't want to have an old woman walking down the path and having somebody on a mountain bike run her over. That would not be respectful engagement.
with
So these are spaces for respectful engagement. They're designed. A skate park is there. You want to do flip moves on your board. You
I
go
like that.
skateboard.
and well, with nature and parks are maintained and planned as spaces for respectful engagement with nature. Okay, and with
Hmm.
Respectful engagement with nature and people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just reading this, and just grammatically, I think when we say, if we take up parks are maintained and planned as spaces for respectful engagement with each other. So am I wrong about that? It seems to
I'm not
say,
sure.
You
Kind
could
of,
say with each other, wait a minute, I was just looking at it. There's a way to play with it a little bit. I hear what you're saying, Karen, grammatically, the way it was written, it
Mhm.
sounds like that when you say each other, it sounds like the parks, like you said. So if instead you said parks are maintained and planned as
okay.
spaces
Gotcha.
for respectful engagement with each other and nature.
How about parks are maintained and planned as spaces for people to respectfully engage with nature and each other? Parks are
yeah,
maintained and
that's it.
planned as spaces for people
To
to respectfully engage for people.
with nature and each other. Yeah,
Yeah.
that does it.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And are left as much as possible in their natural state or restored to natural environmental. What is natural environmental balance?
Yeah. It's
Whenever
okay.
possible. And
In
there's
their
balance
natural
twice.
state.
To their natural state. Okay. I think that
I think,
captures.
yeah, to their natural state, and just leave it there.
Okay. Whenever possible, in balance with that does it.
Needs for yeah, that works.
To respectfully engage.
Change engagement to engage. There you go.
Engage with nature and each other. To left as much
So
as
parks are
possible.
maintained and planned as spaces for people to respectfully engage with nature and each other, and are left as much as possible in their natural state or restored to. We have natural state twice. I think we could say are maintained or restored, or restored as much as possible to their natural state, and take out that other part. Are, I want to say, maintained to their natural state,
Maintained.
much as possible, maintained
Hey
or
guys,
restored.
we have maintained right on top. So, you know,
Okay.
if this is a sticking
Oh,
point,
good point.
maybe we should take it out the restoration. I mean, it is a goal of the town. So if you want to put
It's
it
our
right up
overarching
top,
goal.
huh?
Yeah, you're right.
If you want to make it a highlighted thing, we'd put it right in the beginning. And if we don't want to get behind that, because it's too broad,
So
we
let's
can
leave
leave
it.
it out.
Yeah, let's leave it out. Engage with nature and each other in balance with.
Okay.
Well, respectfully engage with
So-
nature and each other, in balance with, yeah, and take out the
Right.
rest.
There you go. I don't think there's a comma, but
Yeah. Take the comma out, after, yeah. And
Puts each other in balance, and there's an I, that it's there. Okay.
that's great. I like it.
Perfect.
It's appropriate.
I agree.
Woohoo!
Yeah, next.
What are we going with the pink here?
I don't know. Let's read it again. Netherlands maintain manifest. I need to lower. I can't see the whole thing here. Zoom out. There. Netherlands manifests alignment with a deep respect for nature and each other by initiating and maintaining recreation projects which provide opportunities for locals to relax, interact, and recreate, and special events which showcase our setting, our diversity, and our cultural heritage. and our commitment to environmental stewardship. Ooh. Okay, recreation activities address the expressed recreational needs, preferences. Well, so the top in alignment with a deep respect for nature was added to the top one there in a recreational goal. It is a recreational goal where you have recreational goal, Netherland area recreational activities and programs address the expressed recreational need. I'm reading the recreational goal. And preferences of the Netherland area community and promote healthy, active, and culturally rich lifestyles in alignment with a deep respect for nature. Personally, I think that works, but
Well, I think that we have to be careful about, are we really, the expressed recreational needs and preferences, that's an unlimited, that's an infinite number.
true. In alignment with a deep respect for nature.
Well, you can have a deep respect for nature when you jump into the pool that costs 10,000 million gazillion dollars.
True.
Well, there are constraints on all of what we can do. You know, there's constraints with the environmental, economic, and social sustainability. There is also constraints that have to do with funding. There's constraints with volunteers, with, you know, so the parks and recreation and open space exist not alone, but with all these other things that we're doing in town. So it all has to be balanced.
Scroll up again. I just want to see the other one that May had written.
Okay, for
There we
recreation?
go. Yeah,
Okay.
we're on recreation, right? Yeah.
Yes, sorry. There.
Netherland manifests alignment with a deep respect for nature and each other by initiating and maintaining recreation projects will provide opportunities for locals, which showcase our diversity and cultural commitment to environmental stewardship and education. Mm-hmm. I think that I mean, when I read it again after reading the other, I think I like this one better. I think it just needs some wordsmithing, but I think
I guess I have a hard time with the idea that we're trying to promote um, lifestyles. I don't think
Mhm.
that's the job of the town. I think we kind of know what people want. They just want to go relax and they interact, and the kids want to play basketball and skate, and people want to have places where they can sit and talk or stand under a beautiful tree and drink some
Mhm.
water,
May, do you think if it said culturally rich experiences
Oops.
instead of lifestyles, that would take care of that concern?
Mm.
Well, I like promote culturally rich experiences for sure, Karen. Um,
Mhm.
so maybe we can somehow thumbtack these two together. I like the idea of it being an express recreational needs and preferences, but I think that should be part of the initiation process. Um, and I've got to get in touch with Deb and see what the final document in the community engagement folder is, but we may be able to reference um, how we're going to get this feedback and also how we're going to kind of keep track of how we're doing as we move through every process in a more streamlined way. So back to the project at hand, I don't like my wording, manifest alignment. The deep respect for nature may not fit as the very first part of it. I saw that, Jill, and I really liked it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think part of that is a respect for each other. And I think we need to
Mhm.
kind of continuously build that into this.
Mhm. Preferences in the Netherlands. So the thing that you had added was the opportunities for locals to relax, interact, recreate. So you were kind of calling out the different, I think healthy, active, culturally rich experiences, I do feel captures the list that you have below. I don't think you need more than that, in my opinion.
Okay.
I do like the part though about and our commitment to environmental stewardship and education. I think that's critical. So you could put in alignment with a deep respect for nature and our commitment to environmental stewardship and education.
Alignment. Okay, right here. Let's see.
Right after, and yeah, and our
Okay.
commitment.
To, oh,
To
I see it.
environmental stewardship and education. And I do like changing lifestyles to experiences. How's that look? Netherland area recreational activities and programs address the expressed recreational needs and preferences of the Netherland area community and promote healthy, active, and culturally rich experiences in alignment with a deep respect for nature and a commitment to environmental stewardship and education, or with a commitment.
I like it.
Is it with or and? With a
Oh.
commitment?
In alignment with a deep respect for nature, and I think A is okay.
I was just questioning the word and versus with a commitment, but I think it works. What do you think, May? Did we capture it?
Do you want with here? Is that what you want, Jill? With?
Take the and out.
Okay.
Take and out. Right before the word if, with. See if that works. I don't know if it does. I think it does.
Well,
Okay.
you're saying with a deep respect earlier. So
Oh,
you're,
okay.
you're
And
saying you would say with a deep respect for nature and
And.
commitment to
And.
environmental.
Thank you.
Thank
Sure.
you, Karen.
Sure.
That's a bird's eye view.
I
Yeah.
am
Okay.
trying to still listen. I do have to say, though, I'm multitasking just because I've got other things. And I have requested
good.
permission to edit because I don't have that permission for some reason. So if you do want me to go in and look at the final language, I can do that.
I'll give you permission.
What happened? Oh. Okay, so open space goal.
I'm giving
Oh.
Karen permission to edit in here. We'll just take a minute.
You just passed her. She's right above.
Do you
Here I am.
want commenter or editor?
I don't care,
Editor.
whatever you guys would prefer.
That way we can keep track of the.
I was only going to do suggested edits anyways. I wouldn't like change
Okay.
your
That's
document.
great.
Okay, you've got the suggested edit.
Let's go to the open space goal.
Okay.
Are
So
we in agreement on that goal, the recreation goal?
I think it's good. May? the first one?
Can't hear you, May.
Sorry. I think
That's
the
okay.
only word I would add under promote would be
Oh.
interactive somewhere, healthy, interactive, or active and interactive. Maybe it's covered by culturally rich experiences, but I'm thinking again of just the peaceful the peaceful component, um, the quiet kind of interactive. So I don't know, promote healthy, active, interactive, and culturally rich. That might be a little over the top. I just didn't see that in there. But it's recreational. I mean, basketball is interactive. So
I
no,
think
I guess
that
it's fine.
covers it. I don't think you
Yeah.
need interactive.
Okay, no, I'm fine with it then. Thank you guys for.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is great.
awesome. We're
And I
moving-
think healthy would include quiet spaces.
Okay.
moving right along. Open space. Oh, there's no changes to open space. Is that right?
The Netherland community's desire for open
Sure.
space preservation is recognized by creative pursuit of land preservation opportunities that arise with a priority placed on preserving sensitive natural resources, view sheds and riparian areas, and by responsible management of the town's open space property. I think it's great.
Agreed.
May, you're good with that?
I am. I like it.
Cool. Okay. Should I accept these changes
Yeah.
and see what it looks like? Okay.
Oh, I see. I can do it.
Here we go.
Done.
The Netherland Area Trails System provides safe, accessible, and well-maintained multimodal, non-motorized pathways which are left as much as possible in their natural state. This system links Netherlands commercial district, neighborhoods, schools, area parks, habitat, recreational facilities, and regional trails, encourages physical activity, and provides opportunities for alternative transportation.
So yeah, the alternative transportation, I suppose, would be, a way to walk to your destination
Yeah.
as opposed to driving. So, or
Why is
ride.
multimodal in parentheses?
I did that just because of what I had said before. Not every trail is going to be multimodal. So multimodal is, what does that mean? Does that mean pedestrians and baby carriages? Does it mean little electric cars? I mean, I guess I'm not.
What's the word?
Multimodal. So does this, oh, okay, I'm thinking that multimodal includes not only different forms of transportation, but also, driving your car to a parking lot, then hopping on a bus to get to a place, and then grabbing your bike from there to get to another location. I think that's what is implied by multimodal these days. I can Google that.
But it's a modifier to pathways. That would be a multimodal system. So
Yes,
Netherland Area Trails
agreed.
provides something in a multimodal system, and then maybe a new sentence.
Could we say something like user-friendly multimodal system?
I don't think anybody's going to know what multimodal means, to tell you the truth.
I don't either.
I think we can leave it out. I like well-maintained non-motorized pathways. then we can flesh out multimodal is a crucial element of the big picture. And we don't have it, maybe we should add a goal.
Because this is a trails goal. It's not a bus goal, is it? Transportation goal? Being a trails goal, I think it is non-motor, or
Okay.
maybe that modal doesn't fit.
So I see someone took it out. Pathways which are left as possible. System links Netherlands commercial district, neighborhood schools, area parks.
What do you think about user friendly? Is that fit or is it already stated that way?
Safe and accessible, I think, cover it.
What
Well, I
are
was thinking about what you were stating earlier about bikes and pedestrians and baby carriages and elderly and, how do you say that, to be friendly to its users?
My own feeling is that at some point, I mean, my top of the hill vision, I guess, would be that we have a small system available to handicap people. This is a trail that you can walk on if you're blind or you're in a wheelchair or you're with the walking thing, and have a small area where people of any kind of disability can feel comfortable, maybe even have braille interpretive signs to where the bathrooms are and so forth. But that we don't try to do that with all of them. So a tiered system. But again, I think if we start to get into it, then that's a commitment. But it may be something that we should put into it, because I think the accessibility by the disabled is really an important point.
Mm-hmm.
so there is accessible in there.
You could put ADA accessible and then have user friendly or because I think calling out the ADA accessibility would be important.
But we don't want to
But
have
it's
to
also
have,
accessible, in other ways. I don't know.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, I think
yeah, we don't
it's
want to
kind of
make,
overloaded.
okay.
Overloaded in the sense it refers both to accessibility by people with different capabilities, as well as that you can get to the trailhead.
So I think
know.
we could just call something like that out in an objective that, that users, are oh, I don't know how to say it. That the appropriate users are using the appropriate trails, but I'm not sure how you would actually say that. I think we have a misuse of semicolons at the end of that. Should just be a comma.
good point. I don't know whether we really are encouraging physical activity. I mean, how can you do that? I guess it does if you have a good network. I have no objection to it, but
How about encourages well-being?
I like that better.
Yeah, I think what May's getting at is we don't want to be directive. We don't want to be saying, well, everyone needs to get out and exercise at a certain time and location.
Would you say fosters well-being instead of encourages?
Yes, perfect.
I like that.
Fosters.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, because there's more than the exercise. There's the mental well-being of just
Right.
force bathing or
Yeah. I think that looks good.
Oh my gosh, that was easy.
So now I think that looking at the parks 2013 plan objectives is really helpful, and I think we should just look at those and then I don't know, Karen, if we want to just copy and paste those like you did here, because it was a nice basis, we can
Yeah.
just then go from there and work it out on by
Sounds
Monday.
good. Yeah, let
That's
me,
extremely helpful, by the way. Thank you for all that you're doing on the outside there.
yeah, okay, so let me show you the doc that everyone can edit. Uh, so there's
While she's scrolling, I have a question.
Mhm.
I wasn't quite clear about the format of this. I didn't see a lot of them said ongoing. Some of them like renaming the park, the Gercio Field. I don't know. Was that done? Is it now Gateway Park? There wasn't a check mark.
May, there's never been any intention or any action taken to rename the Gercio Memorial Ballpark Field. The bigger name of the Barker Reservoir Park is everything that includes Gercio. So Gercio is a piece of it, but there's never been an initiative to change the name of the actual ball field. So the ball field is named Gercio, but the entire park that would include the area closer to the reservoir. So that whole big area that, you know, there's been a lot of conversations about turning into a performance space and all that. That would
Gateway.
yeah, that would be included in what's been called Gateway Park. It's been called Barker Meadows Reservoir Park or whatever. All those different names encompass and include the ball field, but there's never been an effort to change that name. And just to be clear, so everybody knows, that land's always been owned by the town. And when one of the Gercio boys, well, young men at that time, was killed in a car accident, I believe, there was a collection taken up at one of the local bars. I think it was the Pioneer Inn. And the money was used to buy the signage that calls it the park and to improve it to actually create a little baseball diamond. So I just want to clarify, there's been a lot of misinformation flying about that park. But that's the story.
But to my question, the recommendations and implementation matrix. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I see, I don't have a page number here. I think it's page 2. Goal 1, objective 1.1, actions. A, are people on that page with me?
Yeah.
Conduct a feasibility study
Mhm.
for Parks and Recreation District. So then the next column, this is who's working on it, I'm assuming. And then what's the next column?
The-
Stakeholder input, best practice.
so
What is that?
that is the derivation of that action. So the reason the action is in there is because of stakeholder and public input, and it also addresses economic sustainability.
Now, we're just responsible for goals and objectives, though, correct?
Yeah, well, the actions come later.
Right. So
we'll
I
do-
think we need to focus.
Yeah,
I'm just
but-
going to say.
Well, that's
So
why
I really do. I think it's big.
I
So-
need to understand, though, how this thing
Yeah.
is set up.
Good point.
So
Yeah.
then the next category is the timeline, ongoing, short term. I don't understand what the heading on that is.
So that timing is, if you look above the matrix, the paragraph there, it says the short term is 0 to 5 years is when it would be completed.
Mm-hmm.
Midterm is 5 to 10 years. Long term is 10 years and beyond.
Right. So these goals were outlined in the 2013 thing. Is there a place to check off this has been done? Or so
So this is
Yeah.
that column I added, which I'm sharing right now. It is status.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Oh,
when we
okay.
meet with ProSab, we'll start working on that. And that way
That's
we'll know
great.
what to carry forward. So if anyone wanted to make comments outside of that meeting, you could do it on this doc. So like
That's
you could
great,
say,
Karen.
this objective is, I don't agree with it, or whatever, just add a comment in here. And this is
Do we want to, so regardless, do we want to go ahead and move these objectives over to our doc and then we can work it the same way we just did?
no, I think we
Or do
need
you
to,
feel we should just leave it here?
I think first, we should get ProSab's input
Okay,
So-
that sounds good.
and work on this stuff. But
And
in
that's
the
Thursday night, right? Thursday
Yeah.
night?
in the meantime, if you
perfect.
do have something you want to say about the goals and objectives, I would recommend that you do it in this document, and then
That's great.
we'll have that all in one place. Okay,
Good idea.
cool. And I'll reformat this just by cleaning up the formatting. So I won't change any of these words. I'll just fix up the formatting in here.
Thank you for all you're doing, Karen. It's huge.
Sure.
Very
Hey,
helpful. Appreciate it.
It's I enjoy doing this kind of work, and I have to say it's what I did when I was professionally employed, except
Beautiful.
for software.
I'm over the top slammed, just so
bet.
you know.
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate what you're doing, and I appreciate May, your input. It's all the work.
And we
I think we
appreciate
got
you, Jill.
somewhere very well. Well, I think we got somewhere, and I think we have great goals. So we'll work off of the other form. Is it clearly found? Is it within our folder, or just to be
Yeah.
clear on which form?
Yeah,
Okay.
it is. If you go to Parks, Recreation, and Open Space
Okay.
folder, you'll see both survey results and the matrix. And my plan, I'm going to be gone this week, out skiing, and
Nice.
but this weekend, my plan is to have all of the results, survey results in that spreadsheet.
So what time is that Parks meeting on Thursday? I know I could look, but it's helpful to just,
It's at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Okay, I should be able to make that. I'll be sitting in the airport. I
So
know.
it sounds like
Yeah.
you guys don't really need me then to review your goals and objectives because you've gotten them pretty much where you like them. Is that correct? I just
Agreed.
want to double
Yeah,
check.
that's
Okay,
yeah, we're
Good
just
deal.
gonna go
Yeah.
with Parks. See what they
Perfect.
have to say.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. I think
Thank
it's a
you,
great plan.
Karen and Miranda.
Thank you all. Do
You
we have
all.
anything
You're
else then?
welcome.
I do have
We-
one other thing. And I do want to thank everybody for all the hard work and collaboration. But I know that the town is going to be discussing possible modifications to the town code and some charrettes. And those start next week, if I'm right.
They
Or do
start today,
Yeah,
actually.
Okay, and I think this is going to impact, for example, if we were going to have a powwow and we wanted to put up a teepee as a storytelling tent, we'd want to be able to do that. Or let's say that we host a powwow and we want to put up a teepee in our backyard for somebody to stay in during the powwow. I think that the Parks and Rec should have an eye to, when we do construct a building, this is a way to express our commitment to all the things we're talking about. And so I want to encourage anybody who can to attend at least one of these charrettes and
Mhm.
put your feedback in You know, do we want to be a town that has, you know, yurts and straw bale houses and be creative? I know there was this subdivision up on Peakview that you may not be able to drive to. So can we include that? Anyway,
Well,
just
I
a,
think that belongs in the Environmental Sustainability Committee. And you know, is Karen, will we suggest that someone should attend those things?
So, the so Miranda sent an email out asking all of the subcommittee chairs if they would like to review the 2018 building code. And the Environmental Sustainability Group, which I chair, will be reviewing it at the last meeting of March, on March 29th. So
Okay.
then there are the charrettes for the public. And I suppose we could ask Miranda to do that, have someone do the presentation for Parks Recreation, for the Parks Recreation and Open Space Subcommittee. I will actually have been seeing this 3 times. I watched the BOT meeting where it was first presented, and then I'll see it at the Planning Commission this month, and then I'll see it at the Environmental Sustainability Subcommittee meeting. So I don't need to see it again. But if we wanted, as the Parks, Recreation, and Open Space Subcommittee, if we wanted to, you know, make some kind of statement on the record, then maybe it would be good for us to see the presentation.
Yeah,
And
I
there
think
are
so.
lots of opportunities to do that in these public charrettes. And then, of course, we have the BOT packet, and the group is also meeting with some of the other boards and commissions. So there's lots of opportunities if you haven't had a chance yet to see it.
I think to Karen's point, we're happy to come to your meetings if that's what this group decides, although there are a lot of other ones. So just to kind of capitalize and maximize on people's times. I can't guarantee you'd get the full building code committee if we come to your meeting. It's just not on their schedules. But it is an option if you'd like us to come and do a specific presentation for you.
Well, and here's what I want to just drive home is you guys are almost 40 minutes over the time that you were supposed to, because you're so, you know, working on your goals and objectives, and you have such a broad category. So my suggestion, just my suggestion is don't add it to a meeting. You're already, you know.
I agree.
have a lot
I
on your
agree with
plate.
that. I think we should all do our best to make another opportunity happen. Just join in on something else. So, Miranda, you sent that. May, did you get any invitations too? I will do my best to just get to one of those.
I got an invitation, and but I'm thinking more. I also saw the presentation to the board, and I think they've left a few things out. I think it's an important discussion, and so I guess
I think our time would be better spent at our meeting discussing it rather than seeing it.
right. I wasn't suggesting anything, but so is the public charrette just another presentation of this, or is it an opportunity to comment?
So it'll be the first 30 minutes will be the presentation, and then the remainder of the 30 minutes will be for people to give public input.
Okay. So I guess the other option, and I know we're over time, would be, does the group want to present a statement to the board about our, whatever we want to make as a statement, that we want to encourage X, Y, and Z? You know, maybe when we build the bathrooms, we should make it an alternative form of construction, which is environmentally more
Right.
sustainable.
I think the first step is we should all just see it. Then we can figure out, you know, maybe at one of our meetings if there's input we have. That's what I'm going to say.
If you have some ideas that you want Jill and I to comment on, you could send us email with those.
Okay.
Maybe that's a good way to start, because I'm not I can't think of what I would say about parks, recreation, and open space with regards to the building code.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Exactly. It
I
could
can certainly,
include landscape, but
I do
anyway.
think, I think it speaks to whatever improvements we're gonna put in, so I'll definitely email you guys.
All right, well, I think we should close this meeting. Thank you, everyone, and we'll meet you on cyberspace.
Okay,
Sounds like a
bye.
plan.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for your service.
All right,
Good
thank
job.
you. Bye.
Thanks all. Bye.